Scott.
Aye.
Waters.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Shaner.
Aye.
I move to adjourn the closed session. Second.
Waters.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Shaner.
Aye.
Scott.
Call the roll, please.
Moore.
Here.
Shaner.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Waters.
Here.
Sorry, I forgot to say O'Kane.
Stand for a moment of silent prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gary Lewis. That reads, whereas the strength of our nation, along with its states, cities, flows from the promise of individual equality, access to decent, safe, and affordable housing is a part of the American dream. And whereas April 2025 marks the 57th anniversary of the passage of Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, as amended, better known as the Fair Housing Act, which declares that discrimination in the sale, rental, or financing of housing based on race, color, religion, sex, natural origin, familiar status, or disability is unlawful. And whereas shelter is a basic human need and the quality of life is significantly diminished when individuals face discrimination based on irrelevant factors, it is essential that America, the state of Iowa, and the city of Sioux City be rededicated to the policy of ensuring that housing is available to all individuals on the basis of equality and fairness. Now, therefore, I, Robert E. Scott, Mayor of the City of Sioux City, Iowa, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim April 25th as Fair Housing Month in Sioux City and urge all citizens to support and endorse the daily practice and policy of fair housing and reaffirm their commitment to fair housing opportunities for all.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank you, Mr. Mayor, and the council for recognizing that everyone has the right to have a nice place to live, a decent place to live, and be treated fairly. Thank you.
Kelly, where's Kelly? There he is. We have a proclamation that reads, where the Arbor Day holiday was first observed in 1872 with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. Whereas trees reduce the erosion of precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produces oxygen, and provides habitat for wildlife. And where trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products, and where trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of the business areas, and beautify our community with a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Robert E. Scott, Mayor of the City of Sioux City, Iowa, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in Sioux City and urge our citizens to plant trees for the well-being of this and future generations. One thing I would say is I drove into Leeds the other night. The signs we have might need to be somewhat updated, and I think we need to have them on more entrances of the community than we do. That's just a suggestion. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I appreciate your support as the department does, and we will be having an Arbor Day celebration on Friday at 1 p.m. Weather not pending bad weather.
Yeah.
We will be outside just west of the expo. If we have inclement weather, we will be inside. But 1 o'clock Friday, and everyone's invited. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You do
Kelly.
great work, Kelly. Thanks.
All right, we'll go to the consent agenda, items 2 through 10F. Consider these to pass unanimously unless a separate roll call is requested by a council member. If you want to speak on an item on the agenda, please come up as I read that item. If you want to speak on an item not on the agenda, please come up under citizens' concerns. Please always remember to state your name for the record. I move the consent agenda.
Second.
2 is a reading of the April 9th and 14th City Council minutes. 3 is actions relating to grants and donations. A is a resolution accepting the donations received from January through March of 2025. B is a resolution approving a transportation alternatives program funding agreement with Simcoe Metropolitan Planning Organization for the Viaduct Connector Trail. 4 are actions relating to street closures. A is a resolution temporarily closing sections of 2nd Street on May 10th for the Art Center Free Family Day event. B is a resolution temporarily closing various streets in the downtown area on June 14th, June 27th, July 12th, and August 2nd for the Hard Rock's Battery Park Concert Series. Yeah.
I need to abstain on that item, conflict of interest.
C is a resolution temporarily closing a section of Pierce Street on May 18th for the Bishop Heelan's High School graduation reception. 5 are actions relating to agreements and contracts. A is a resolution approving a mutual aid agreement with the Secretary of the Air Force acting by and through the commander of the 185th Air Refueling Wing for the Fire Protection Services.
Mayor, I just want to, this is on 5A. I just want to thank the Sioux City Fire Rescue and the Fire Department from the 185th for their cooperation and their strong partnership that they've enjoyed for over a decade now. It's really important to the community.
Gordon?
B is a resolution approving a contract to Kramer and Associates for the bridge overlay project.
Gordon Fair, City Engineer. I just wanted to make sure it was clear with everyone that the bid alternate A for both bridges closed at the same time for Floyd and Fourth for this resurfacing, and that both bridges have to be open within 100 calendar days in order for the bonus to be had. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that.
Okay.
Gordon, will you do me a favor? And I know we've talked about this, we've had public meetings, we've done our due diligence. Will you just please make sure we do the best we can as we come up upon the date they'll be starting, to at least let those area businesses know, or make sure that we continue to keep them updated, especially now that we know the project is being awarded and what the timeline is looking like, so they know who we can direct questions to or concerns or anything like that. That'd be really great.
Yes, we are going to be having another public meeting, so we will be sending out notices once again.
Okay. Great, thanks.
Contacting Cargill, Lechner, and State Steel individually.
And even does that apartment complex get notified too? I mean, I wonder about
We'll be sending out a notice to them.
because I wondered about residents and
We will
people that are all right there on that corner, you know?
We will probably try to put a bulletin up on in their main foyer or something like that.
And I would worry about them.
What kind of an overlay are they doing?
They're going to be milling off about 1.5 inches of the concrete, and then they're going to be putting about 1.75 inches back. It's about there, and then there's going to be work underneath the bridges,
right? Yeah.
But that's not going to
That's
be
not in the
contingent on the incentive.
That's not in the 100 days, right?
That's right.
It'll be
I
open,
mean, they can do it in the 100 days if they chose to. But
right?
the bridges both have to be open within 100 calendar days, not working days.
All lanes?
Yes. Well, completely open. Yes.
Okay.
C is a resolution approving amendment number 1 to the property management agreement for the F3 Marina for Marina Management Services at 1100 Larson Park Road. D is a resolution awarding a service provider agreement to Green Gas Services for the removal and replacement of carbon median for the wastewater treatment plant. E is a resolution approving a pre-design agreement with IDOT for the Gordon Drive Viaduct reconstruction project. F is a resolution approving a First Amendment to the site lease agreement with IMON Communications for the maintenance of a communication system in the vicinity of 4647 Stone Avenue. G is a resolution approving amendment number 2 to the consulting services agreement with JEO Consulting for the undersized water main replacement project. H is a resolution approving a contract to KP Construction for the Big Sioux River Gate 4 repair project. I is a resolution awarding a service provider agreement to Lane Christensen for the well number 1 pump and motor replacement project. J is a resolution approving a consulting services agreement with Walker Consultants for the Discovery Parking Ramp Repair Project. 6 is an actions authorizing payments. A is a resolution authorizing payment to K&S Contracting for the Airport Northeast T Hangar Development Project. B is a resolution approving fund transfers for March. C is a motion approving total expenses for March. 7 are purchasing. A is a resolution amending the purchase order number 351466 issued to EM Feld Equipment to increase the amount for ambulances. B is a resolution awarding a purchase order to Werner Specialty Products for 1 mobile bus platform for transit. 8 are applications for cigarette, tobacco, nicotine, vapor products. 9 are application for alcohol license. 10, boards and commissions and committee minutes. Anyone to be heard on any of those?
I need to abstain on 9A, 1C, the Hard Rock. Conflict of interest, thanks.
Passes 4-0. Recommendations of Planning and Zoning. 11 is a hearing and resolution assenting to the request of the Siouxland Initiative to annex property at 2276 Allison Avenue into the city. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Got anything for the good of the order? Okay.
Oh, it's pretty basic.
All right. Anybody else to be heard? Hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 12 is a hearing and ordinance placing the newly annexed territory west of 2276 Allison Avenue in the zone classification GI General Industrial. The petitioner is the City of Sioux City. The City Planning and Zoning recommends approval of this item. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Hearing closed. Passes 4-0. Is anybody opposed to waiving the statutory rule? No. I'll move that.
Second.
Shaner. Aye. Scott.
Aye.
Waters.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
I'll move second and third.
Second.
Scott.
Aye.
Waters.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Shaner. Aye.
13 is a hearing and resolution determining an area of the city to be blighted, designating such area as appropriate for urban renewal project, and adopting an amended and restated urban renewal plan for the Teton Urban Renewal Project area. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing's now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 14 is a hearing resolution determining an area of the city to be blighted and designated such area as appropriate for the urban renewal project, and adopting an amended and restated urban renewal plan for the combined Central Sioux City CBD urban renewal area. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 15 is a hearing and resolution determining an area of the city to be blighted, designating such areas appropriate for urban renewal project, and adopting amended and restated urban renewal plan for the amended Donner Park urban renewal project area. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 16 is a hearing and resolution determining an area of the city to be blighted, designating such area as appropriate for an urban renewal project, and adopting the amended and restated urban renewal plan for the combined Floyd River Urban Renewal Project area. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 17 is a resolution declaring official intent to issue debt to reimburse the city for certain original expenditures paid in connection with specified projects. I'll move that.
Second.
Passes 4-0. 18 is a resolution approving advances for repayment of the city's urban renewal tax increment revenue bonds and directing the filing of certification. I'll move that.
Second.
Passes 4-0. 19 is a hearing and resolution approving plans and specs for the Fairmont Street Water Main Replacement Project. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 20 is a hearing and resolution approving plans and specs for the city's facilities asphalt overlay project. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. Citizen concerns. Are there any citizens that have a concern? Please come to the microphone. Seeing none, we'll go to council concerns. Julie?
No concerns. I want to thank everyone for coming out to Litter Dash this year and just to continue those efforts if at all possible. Lots of windy days coming up, so that tends to get those plastic bags and other litter blowing and getting stuck in the trees. So if you can, someone suggested on social media that when you're out walking your dog, use an extra dog waste bag. If you see some trash, put it in there as well. So I think that'd be a great effort. I'm going to do that myself. That's all I have.
Okay. Alex?
Not a ton. All I was going to say was just, I know council, some members of council had voiced their concern out of the certain area down on Transit where there continue to be high rates of speed accidents, causing the loss of life. And I think it's really unfortunate that I don't know. I mean, whether you look at that people are traveling at that rate of speed or the loss of life or just the damage to property, all different kinds of things. But we really do, as a council, take that seriously and are working with city staff to kind of look at some traffic calming measures. It's a difficult area, and I'm not sure what we'll be able to do to try to enforce the speed limit there, because unfortunately these aren't normal people that are out speeding just periodically. These seem to be one-off instances where unfortunately people are just traveling at a rate of speed far beyond what they can control. And so but we are taking it seriously, and at least our city engineering department is going to look into what options we might have to try to address this so that it doesn't continue to happen in our community and these people don't continue to injure themselves and others. So just wanted to share that it was pretty tragic what happened. And I know that it affects the responding officers, paramedics, homeowners, the families, all kinds of people are affected by these things. And so anything we can do as a community to try to address it in the future and make sure that it doesn't happen, I think is worth pursuing. So I appreciate staff's willingness to look into that. I'm not sure there will be a great option, but at least we want to explore those. So that's all I have, Mayor.
One thing, the council has a lot of major items coming up. For example, city manager interviews and hiring a city manager and other things regarding budget items that were a couple months ago. The question I've been asked is, can we increase or can we do better on our notices, advance notices to citizens of council meetings and hearings that we hold? Or are we doing everything we can? Do you have some ideas on that?
I can't speak to the social media output. I know Ann Wester in the city manager's office helps with all of that. But I can speak to what the city clerk's office does. The legal posting, of course, is right here in City Hall, first floor. Not everybody can get here. Anyone can sign up for our city clerk's office emails through the website. So if you navigate to the website, sioux-city.org, under the Government tab, there is also a City Council and City Council Agenda and Minutes tab. So if you find your way to Council Agenda and Minutes, at the very top of that page, there's a spot that says click here to sign up to receive email notifications. And we typically send those at 4 p.m. every Thursday with all of the information for the upcoming week. You'll get an email with the following week's agenda, but also a link to that page directly so that you can see all of the upcoming events for that week.
Would that have included our special council meeting we had last week?
It did. So if you were signed up for that email, you would have gotten the link to that webpage to see that was right there. It was listed on the website.
That's something you need to sign up for, though.
Correct. If you would rather not sign up for that email, at about 4 p.m. every Thursday, that page is updated. So if you can find your way to the website, again, it's under the Government tab, Council Agenda and Minutes. You go to that page, we update it with the upcoming week every Thursday at 4.
Okay. Thank you. That helps. That's all I have, Mayor.
Hey, Gordon, I'm not an engineer, but I have been thinking about that transit thing. You do have signs on the side that would lead you to believe that you should slow down, those in the Ephraim Beta's yard.
The chevrons, yes.
Yeah, is there any way you could somehow with solar right now, is there any way that you could solar light that so that it...
There are some of those chevrons that are they're flashing.
Illuminated.
They're already doing it.
We don't have them yet there, but I mean they do have them available.
Make them.
And I checked by looking at Street View on Google Maps, and there's a street light at that intersection. There are 2 more street lights
I know.
to the west. We got 2 chevrons. Why there isn't 3, I don't know.
Guessing. I think one was hit a while back, and I forget, but yeah.
Probably so. We're going to look into that intersection, but it's a high rate of speed at that point.
Right.
Not a lot we can do other than enforcement.
Remember that about Pete Gretchen.
All right.
I mean, I do think that if we could look into the flashing ones, I think I know what you're talking about, that have they're outlined or whatever, and they flash and have just a solar panel on the back of them or something. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Waters,
Aye.
Moore,
Aye.
Shaner,
Aye.
Scott.